and welcome back to Life After Undergrad. I am Chanel Manzo, a licensed master social worker and your host today. I hope all is well, and it has been a bit of a longer time since my last upload. As you know, or if you don't, Thursdays are the new upload days for the podcast. So I took some time last week to really organize and develop ideas of what I want to provide for you all. This episode of Life After Undergrad, The Power of You, I focus on how these interconnected qualities like patience, flexibility, and strength can shape how we respond and grow in life. If you haven't heard this episode yet, I highly recommend backtracking, as every week's episode definitely does interconnect with one another. Now, today we are going to get into how to balance imagination and action. Specifically, I want to really connect with your inner child today. What person would your younger self have wanted you to be? How are you embodying your passion every day and making your inner child proud? As we grow into adults, it's easy to let embarrassment or the responsibilities of the outside world really take over our lives. When it comes to a traditional work schedule of a 9 to 5, this can also pose a lack of imagination or even enough time to truly live life outside of the weekends. However, today we are going to mention not only actionable suggestions, but ways to open the world of imagination and how to think creatively and beyond the box of normalcy. Here at TVSWCT, we dream big. Imagination becomes more active with age, if you didn't know. Feeling disconnected from your dreams doesn't mean you've lost them. Here's how you can get started to rediscover them. Right now, take a moment to write down one thing you loved doing as a kid. Sometimes it is hard in life to get past the idea of something. Something I utilize is my imagination. Life is not always going to be easy, but it is how you use those moments and navigate your way to the end goal or intended destination. Let's talk about something so many of us have experienced, feeling like we've lost touch with our dreams. Remember when we were kids and anything seemed possible? We wanted to be astronauts, ballerinas, authors, or even superheroes. But somewhere along the way, life happened. Responsibilities piled up, and those dreams started to feel out of reach. As a college student or a recent grad, this can hit especially hard. You might feel overwhelmed by deadlines, bills, and the pressure to figure it all out. Maybe you've started to second guess your passions or convince yourself that your dreams were just childish fantasies. Sound familiar? You're not alone in this. Imagination gets replaced by practicality. In college, we often are told to focus on practical goals, get the degree, land the job, pay off the loans. But this focus on practicality can sometimes bury our ability to imagine the kind of life we truly want. Fear of failure. Then there's the fear factor. What if you try to follow your dream and you fail? It's easier to avoid the risk entirely and stick to the safe path, right? But deep down, you know that's not fulfilling. This isn't just you. It's something we all face at some point. Society often prioritizes productivity over creativity, and that can make it feel like there's no room for imagination. But here's the thing, imagination is a skill, and just like any other skill, it can be rekindled and strengthened. It's never too late to reconnect with your dreams. Now that we've unpacked the challenge, how life can pull us away from our dreams, let's talk about how we can change that. Because here's the good news. Just like we can lose touch with our imagination, we can also find it again. And when we do, it becomes a powerful tool to guide our actions and build the life we truly want. You don't have to let those dreams stay buried. By tapping into your imagination and taking small intentional steps, you can reconnect with what lights you up and start making it a reality. Let's dive into some strategies to get you there. Revisit your younger self. Start by thinking back to your childhood or early college days. What were the dreams that got you excited? What hobbies, ideas, or goals made you lose track of time? Write those down and ask yourself, are they still meaningful to me today? Even if they seem far-fetched, this exercise helps you reignite that spark. Utilize visualization as a tool. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's a strategy. Take 5 to 10 minutes to imagine what your ideal life would look like. What are you doing? Who are you with? What's your daily routine? This process gives your imagination something tangible to focus on. Take the first tiny step. Don't let the big picture overwhelm you. Start small. If you dream to start a book one day, write one page. If your dream is to start a business, brainstorm a name or logo. Action, no matter how small, builds momentum. Reconnect with creative practices. Imagination thrives when we make space for creativity. Try doodling, journaling, or even taking a walk without your phone. These moments allow your mind to wander and reconnect with ideas you may have forgotten. Surround yourself with dreamers and doers. Your environment matters. Spend time with people who inspire you, encourage your dreams, and remind you of what's possible. Their energy can fuel your imagination and give you the confidence to act. These strategies aren't about changing everything overnight. They're about planting seeds. Every small action you take to reconnect with your imagination strengthens your ability to dream and act on those. The next time you feel stuck, remember, you're not chasing some far off fantasy. You're reclaiming what's already within you, one step at a time. We've talked about how life can make us feel disconnected from our dreams, whether it's the pressure to be practical, fear of failure, or just the everyday grind. But what if we looked at imagination as more than just a nice to have? What if we saw it as a critical tool to reconnect with who we are and what we want? That's the shift we're going to focus on today. Remember, your imagination isn't gone. It's just been buried under responsibilities and doubt. By taking intentional actions, you can clear away that clutter and make room for creativity, passion, and purpose. Let's explore some ways to do that. And again, getting into these aspects of revisiting yourself, like I've mentioned, using visualization tools, taking the tiny steps, reconnecting with creative practices, and surrounding yourself with people who ignite this energy. I've done this before, and some examples I could really provide in regard to a visualization tool is utilizing Canva and maybe mapping out, or even just grabbing a notebook and mapping out some rough drafts and brainstorms. That kind of intertwines into taking the next tiny step. When you brainstorm ideas and put it down on paper, you can then make that idea into the next phase, whether that's on Canva or in a Word document. Reconnecting with your creative practices can really relate to, again, going on a walk outside or just going back to your roots and what truly makes you think or tick. Surrounding yourself with people to inspire you is something that I've done in my time recently, but in the past, because I've had an opportunity to really learn and take characteristics and values that I've learned from people over time and really build the type of person I want to be. So it's always important to have those examples in your life to then guide you to your end goal, your end destination. Although it's never the same destination as anyone else and everyone's journey is different, there are tools and tips along the way that can guide you to smoothen that ride. This past month, I challenged myself to post every day for Social Work Month, March, as a form of respect and informing the community about the field of social work. Posting with everyday life's responsibilities was a challenge, as this was something I had never really built into my daily routine. Experiencing this was something that I wanted to bring here with you today because it brought me so much joy to know that I was able to post 31 days in a row content that I was proud of and that really I feel like supported my community of social workers. So yes, I went on Canva. Yes, I posted. I posted mostly on TikTok, but I also did Instagram as well as LinkedIn. So today I just want to shout out and emphasize you can do anything you set your mind to. And it is important to realize that no matter the goal, big or small, there will always be a way to break it down into actionable steps. But you do have to use your imagination, because what works for me or what works for Sally across the street or what works for Tom at Sacred Heart might not work exactly for you in your exact journey. Finding your own way and utilizing the resources available is something that I have learned along the way and highly recommend. The more you know, the more you have an opportunity to really be the individual, career professional, and person you want to be. Your dreams aren't just relics of the past. They're a roadmap to a fulfilling future. With imagination and action, there's nothing you can't achieve. This week, take one small action towards a dream you've been putting off and share it with me. I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. As we wrap up here today, I want to thank you so much for staying tuned to the 10th episode of Life After Undergrad. We have come such a long way from the beginning of 2025, and I cannot wait to continue to be a resource for you all. If you are interested in staying updated with the most recent uploads, feel free to drop a follow to this podcast, Life After Undergrad, or you can follow our Instagram and TikTok page at TVSWCT. Currently, we are only streaming Life After Undergrad through Spotify, and we are working on uploading to other platforms in the future. But until next time,